It's been months since I last touched an MMORPG. I start feeling the urge to get on another adventure across mountains and rivers. But should I come back to a place full of memories or should I try something new? Initially, in terms of something new, World of Warcraft was the finest choice I got. With a vast world, enticing cinematics and story arcs, along with strong and loyal community of both veterans and rookies. At first, it seemed as a default. But $15 subscription per month, yes, I can earn that money within only a day. But maybe not this time because for a €20 game with €20 engine, World of Warcraft or not, such money is ridiculous. Blizzard has been a very terrible company. Their games hardly compete with other rivals and yet their greed for gamers' wallet is skyrocketing off the chart. World of Warcraft is great, but maybe for another time and hopefully with another price. So I decided sometimes going back to old places is a good idea. Do you know who else has a expansion upcoming other than the War Within update in World of Warcraft? That's right, it's the Lord of the Rings Online with the Corsairs of Umber expansion. If it has an upcoming expansion, that means at the very least, the game still has something going on for itself. That's why today I return to Middle Earth. Why do I call it a return? Yes, years ago I did play the game, only that I quit at level 8. But for a game that offers endless frontiers, a colorful world and various story arcs for different classes, The Lord of the Rings Online deserves another chance for me. And you are about to watch my first of many journals. No freaking way I could recall how long it was. It's the old record details that did the trick for me. There's also a reminder when the Lord of the Rings Online window popped up and said 3 years ago. It was 3 years and a half to be exact. What's the best thing that I have to take from the game is that it makes me log in twice with 2 different IDs and 2 different passwords. Through your Steam is the first time and the second time is through the game window. Good thing Steam has saved up my second ID the whole time but not for the second password. I lost it for a while but recovering was easy. We've got like 8 races to choose here. Last time, also the first time I played the game, I chose human race overall. But this time I choose Bayoning. I asked myself what happened last time that I didn't choose this cool ass son of a gun of a class. It didn't exist at the time or what? But when I checked my old records 3 years ago, it turned out that at the time the class required a special golden currency to unlock, which could imply real money. I strongly assume that's why I went with the human race at the time, because you know people including me have a basic tendency to tell stuff to do the same thing all over again. I think it was not because of this little problem. My first time would have been for Bayoning race, the skin changer, or whatever you want to call it. This badass class is on top of my list. Now look, you see, I'm basically human, and if I have a choice, I would never want to pick a human in a game, and I have a phobia for being short. I believe we all secretly want to be taller, so hobbits and dwarves or anything close to such definition won't ever be my choice. And you know elves, they are tall and skinny as fuck, not really muscular, all that sound boring to me. Now for the Bayoning, not the first time you see such a class. It's similar to Drew in Diablo who also can shapeshift into animals. Mostly fearsome predators like bear or wolf. Other than those species, I can't tell. I'm not an expert in Diablo or something. Don't ask me. This class is cold-blooded, handsome, masculine. It's literally Andrew Tate of the MMORPG genre. On the other side of the screen you see, along with races, we have like over 10 classes to develop into. It's not always that many depending on the race. For example, Bayoning in particular, you only have like 1 class to choose, which is also Bayoning, which appears to be a cool thing because at least I don't have to choose at all. Choosing is a tough thing to do sometimes. As a Bayoning, you start off the game in a location called years.Eventhough. I don't know where the hell that is, I don't read a book, spare me the geography of Middle Earth. I just spell whatever appears on the screen. When I played this game years ago as human race, I started off the game in a cell guarded by brigands who locked me there in the first place, and a hooded man called Strider rescued me out. Easy guess, dead giveaway, the rightful future king of Gondor himself, Aragorn. Starting off under 2 different circumstances, different places, but I both ended up in Archet, a small town of the Breland. The way I view it, that must be the case for all other races. You might progress the game from various start, with various arcs depending on the race, but you will all land in Archet initially somehow, and from there your destiny manifests on out. Don't forget to subscribe and feel free to differ if I say something wrong in the comment section down below. As I was saying, in the Vales of Anduin, life is serene and peaceful with immersive nature for all descendants of Bayon to live out their days. I don't know until when, but you will keep receiving a starter gift of some consumables every cycle of hours. Our brother Sturkis informs us about the arrival of wizard Radagast from Mudwood to meet up with our father Grim Bayon, son of Bayon himself, for some urgency. I have never turned a single page of Tolkien's book, but I can say I have a grasp on Radagast and Bayon watching The Hobbit. While going around doing errands and trainings with our siblings, we all get attacked by goblins, but we defeat them without breaking a sweat. Sensing bad omen, we rush back to the lodge to warn Grim Bayon, only to learn from Radagast that the goblin incident is the subsequence of a rising dark power, which is also the reason he came. Urged by Radagast and chosen by Grim Bayon, we depart from our home and kins for a mission to deliver such message to Aragorn the Ranger, knowing he's somewhere in the Breeland. Then the game teleports you to Archet Hamlet. At this point, there have been and will be a lot of notes and panels popping up on the screen. They are all really confusing for being too much to read, so I hope I could ease the pain for you guys by explaining some of them in this video or the next ones. Now I want to talk about the trait tree panel. Just so you see, there's nothing really tricky here. Traits is a term implies your passive bonus system. That's all. You got class traits, race traits, and virtue traits. But right now only class trait panel is accessible, so it's gonna be all we discuss here. Now in this class trait panel, we have 3 specializations for our class, which is Bayoning in case you forgot. There are the High, the Claw, and the Brawl. The High is defensive and relies on bear form, while the Claw is defensive and works for both human form and beast form. Last one, the Raw, is supportive in healing allies, debuff, inflicting enemies the way I view it, and crowd control. Even though we can only focus on one specialization at a time, but we can fast switch between the 2 configurations. This configuration toggling system is similar to the equipment switching system in Diablo franchise and Path of Exile, which allows you to fast toggle between the 2 sets of equipment, which can work better than each other in some certain different cases. For example, in the Lord of the Rings Online, you can set configuration 1 to high specialization for defense purposes, and fast toggle to configuration 2 with the claw specialization for a better offense potential if the situation requires to. Same case for the raw specialization or anywhere else surrounding those 3. And you can freely reconfigure trait points all you want. According to the game, once we choose a specialization, we gain initial perks. And by perks, it means the 2 granted skills of every spec. Specs also come with trait bonuses, which we will discuss when necessary in one of the next videos to come. Currently, all the skills that I've got were earned unawarely and automatically by choosing a spec or from meeting the level requirement. Looting in this game is weird. I saw it years ago, yet I was caught off guard once more. You will see nothing on the ground in order to pick up besides the symbol at the bottom right of the screen, allowing you to see all the items dropping from monsters that you have killed so that you can decide whether to pick them up or not. After landing in Archet of the Breeland and making some greetings, the game unlocks the milestone skill for you. It's just simply another name for the Town Portal feature, which is very popular and convenient in other MMORPGs as well. Which is nothing new here, you only have to configure the milestone in a specific town that you might want to fast travel to. And of course you can find this skill in your skill panel. But do not think about abusing it when it has a 1-hour cooldown on its own. The transformation between bear form and human is quite smooth for a game this old. From 2007, that looks legit to me, and you can do it as much as you want when it requires no mana cost nor cooldown. We got a D panel showing our achievements as far as I can tell. And one of the Ds tells me to turn into a bear for 100 times. Some skills and actions require human form in order to perform. The game is just being real because you can't bury the dead with pawns. The job requires shovel and complex structure of human hands. Also, in the appearance of a bear, you carry the human facial painting with you. I don't know if there are other animals that a Bayoning can turn into. It's been showing that all the Bayonings who have been introduced to us have no other option than a bear. And that's also everything Bayon in The Hobbit can do. I'd hope that throughout the progression I might unlock new animals to transform into, but it occurred to me that it's not gonna be the case. Not long after your arrival, you find out from the locals that the town was attacked by the Black Wool Brigade. And even before that event, Aragorn was here. After a few quests of both main and side, like burying the dead, picking up tools, killing boars, facing spiders, people point out the direction for you to head to the Gum to the south of Archet. in order to seek out Aragorn, and I got a feeling we are still far from seeing him yet. The world design is simple but detailed. Nature is at its finest when you are surrounded by flowers, trees, and animals, most of the time with all kinds and colors. When I swim across water, the reflections of environments, in this case tall trees, appear to be convincing enough, as well as the physics when you split the water or the flowers, grass, bushes move in waves in the breeze. This is the only way to depict the wind in making games when wind is not a visual thing. With such engine at the time, I say 8.5 out of 10 by whoever made this. We have another feature called the mailbox, which is arranged in every town. You can read your mails from wherever you are, but that would cost you. But if you reach for the mailbox in towns, you can read it freely all you want. By the time I cared enough to finally pay my mailbox a visit, I had been ignoring it for the whole adventure so far. After cleaning my glasses, the name of the person who sent this was not Bilbo Baggins as I initially misread, but Bingo Boffin. He asked me to meet him in the Shire for some unknown business, since in the letter his paragraph is so confusing and digressive, just like the character of Bilbo Baggins. I am so ignorant of the book, but that sounds like they are somehow related, let alone the syllable of their names. That was my first journal in Middle-earth. I look forward to coming back into this world again because the destiny is not yet fulfilled. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.